Okay, now that we have created all of the clinical sites and we've added the students to our roster here at Heartland State University, the next thing to do will be to simply start making the schedule. So we'll click on the menu icon and then pull down to Make Edit Schedule. Now let me give you a brief overview of the different views within the making or the editing of the schedule. So by default, it'll go to the spreadsheet view. The other view is locations. You'll be able to see all of the locations that we have created, meaning the clinical sites, and we can view it by day, any assignments that are made by day, and then of course any of them by month. So we'll first start in the spreadsheet view in order to create schedules. So the first thing to draw your attention to would be the start date. So for example, here we are in the middle of November 2015. If I want to begin to make schedules for the students starting in January, let's say for example we don't start school until the second full week of January. So I want to have my schedule begin to show on the 11th of January of 2016. And for now, I only want it to show, say, 6 weeks. So I'll replace the default 12-week view to a 6 weeks and just simply hit the Enter key on my keyboard. That'll shrink everything down to show me just those days. So from here, the next thing is the days of the week in order to display. So for example, if our clinicals were only scheduled on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'll click Tuesday and then on Thursday. Now you'll see then that those are the only days of the week that will be displayed in the 6 weeks starting the 11th of January. And you'll also, another key indicator will be that you'll see Tuesday and Thursday as being a little brighter in color. So those will be then the on days, if you will. The other thing will be your publish icon. This little icon here is indicating the publish bar. Now I'll get into more detail with the publish icon, but just understand that anything to the left of this little icon will be published. Anything to the right of it will be in draft mode or unpublished, if you will. And so as we make our schedule, I'll show you how to use this icon. The default setting here within the spreadsheet view will have your medical locations or your clinical sites down on this side with your students totaled up or located here, and then of course the dates across the top. So in order to select or to make the schedule, now it's just something as simple as clicking and dragging and start to schedule. Now after I drop, in this case, Kathy Johnson into this location at Denver Medical Center, the defaults will show up, and in this case 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock is the default. So if that's the case, then I simply click on Add Shift, and then here Kathy Johnson shows up. All I have to do is mouse over in order to identify the start and stop time for Kathy. So from here, I'll just go ahead and start dragging and dropping, adding shifts. So for the next little bit, I won't override any defaults. I'm just going to go ahead and start putting these students in their locations. All of the students that I want to this schedule, then below it will give me a summary, and actually will show me a summary as I drag and drop. So for example, if I take the student and drop on that day. By the way, I've never shown you how to override, but it's something as simple as saying, okay, well, for this week, we're going to actually start at 7 rather than 6, and it'll be at 1600 rather than 1500. The date sounds good. If I want to change the location, if I accidentally dropped it in the wrong location, then I can go ahead and change it. I'm going to go ahead and keep it at St. Luke's Hospital and then click Add Shift. And as you can see, the summary down at the bottom will give me a summary by day of the students that have been scheduled. Now, If I wanted to see possible conflicts, I simply click on possible conflicts. And here in this case, there are no possible conflicts. But let me show you what that'll look like if, for example, there is a conflict. So I'm going to go ahead and add Jessica Waller to St. Luke's Hospital. Click on that add shift, and now you'll see that there is, or rather the system identifies that there may be a conflict with Jessica Waller's schedule. The reason why we say that it's a possible conflict is there may be on occasion where you will have a student scheduled at two different locations, but you have them scheduled far enough apart that in this case Jessica could make it from one location to the next. Now obviously to have her scheduled at the same time in the same hospital may not be appropriate. So again, we merely say that it's a possible conflict and allow you, the coordinator, to override that or to delete it if you would like. And determine that it is a conflict to have Jessica at the same location. So I'm simply going to click one time on her name badge and then select delete. And now that'll change it from, I now have no possible conflicts. I can click on summary to see it by day. And as long as everything looks satisfactory, then I'm going to go ahead now and publish this schedule. So I do that by mousing over the publish icon and now clicking and dragging only over to here because this is all I want. So you can see there's a little red line underneath my publish icon. I'm going to go ahead and drop it here. Now everything to the left is ready to be published. It's not published yet, but it's ready to. And as long as I'm good with this schedule, now I'll click on Send Changes icon. Now what it's doing is queuing up everybody to the left that has not yet been notified. It'll queue up emails to send to them to notify them of the date, the location, the times to which they're scheduled. So those emails have now been fired off. Again, remember that everything to the right of the publish icon still is in a draft mode. So at this point, I can go ahead and start clicking and adding different students to schedules. And at this point, again, nothing has been scheduled. It's only draft, and so therefore no issues will be created.